Oh, welche? Ich hab Maurice will reden, Kai will reden.
I
will auch
knew the
reden,
steel
okay.
garrote were up to no good.
No one ever
Ruhe.
plans anything nice in a hidden war camp, do
Oh,
they?
Ruhe. Hallo,
This
da hat
isn't
geredet.
over, you know.
Kai, also mit dir.
I still can't believe it. Dorso was betraying her brothers in arms, all in the name of saving Emerald Stair. At least she got what was coming to her.
Es ist überraschend, das von dir zu hören. Bist du nicht dafür, im Zweifel für die Angeklagten zu entscheiden?
Well, yeah. But there are some lines you don't cross. Turning on your own people is one of them.
Hier stimme ich voll und ganz zu, ja.
You'd think that'd be an easy position to hold. But I've seen better soldiers than Dorso cross lines you can't come back from.
Und worum geht's hier dann überhaupt?
I saw this in Rauatai's campaign in the Deadfire. You start out with purpose. You're fighting alongside your brothers and sisters, battling pirates and slavers, bringing civilization to a lawless, divided land. But then, you're breaking up villages, turning tribes against their rivals. It gets messy, fast.
Was willst du damit sagen?
Empires are hungry, Envoy, and they devour their own too. Don't let your allegiances turn you into something you can't live with.
Ich habe Fragen zu deiner Person.
My favorite subject.
Du redest viel über eine zweite Chance. Hast du auch eine gehabt?
I'm well past seconds myself, if we're counting. Even decent people make mistakes, and the rest of us can grow, with a little time and grace.
Und vor welchen Fehler läufst du immer noch davon?
If I had to list them all, we'd be talking all night. Anyway, if this place can't give us misfits and screw-ups a second chance, what hope do we have?
Was hast du gemacht, bevor du in Land der Leben gekommen bist?
I joined up with the Rauatai Navy as soon as I was old enough. I was part of our campaign to establish a foothold in the Deadfire Archipelago.
Und wie war das so?
Starting out, it was exciting, purposeful. I believed in our mission. We were returning to our ancestral homeland, reclaiming fertile soil that would feed Rauatai. Additionally, we were helping Deadfire, bringing organization to the pirate-ridden archipelago and civilization to our distant Wana cousins.
Kommt mir aber nicht bekannt vor.
To add, you're bringing order and civilization to our lawless frontier? Then I hope you learn from my mistakes faster than I did. The Huana didn't want us there. We spent almost as much time fighting the tribes as we did pirates and Wilder. And it was hard to see how any of our fighting and dying was feeding people back home. I'd always heard that war was supposed to temper us, strengthen us. But I didn't see that either.
Was hast du gemacht?
I deserted. And I bounced between different mercenary companies for almost 10 years.
Das hast du so sehr gehasst, für die Dinge zu kämpfen, dass du es lassen hast, um für andere Leute zu kämpfen.
Hey, not all of us catch on so quick. Besides, there were only so many options for a Rauataian deserter with no training and anything else. As a mercenary, I figured I could at least choose my battles and my crew.
Und wie war das so für dich?
I ended up here, didn't I? It was more of the same. The only comfort was being part of a squad. By the time I came to the Living Lands, I'd seen enough, had enough.
Hast du etwas Besseres gefunden?
I
Oder?
did. Yeah. For a while. Look, if I can give you some hard-won advice, stay on your toes. You're in a difficult position. Whatever your role asks of you, make sure it's something you're willing to give. Because you're the one who has to live with the consequences.
Danke für deinen Ratschlag.
Hey, advice is easy. The hard part's all you.
Du stammst ursprünglich aus...
What gave it away?
Island da?
My finely pointed teeth, or the striking blue of my scales?
Wir haben auch solche Leute in...
Fair enough. My people are known to roam. Almost as much as Marius's more far-flung brethren outside the Living Lands.
Right. Sounds like Pargroon and elsewhere know better than to stay cooped up in a keep somewhere.
Rauatai's hardly a hospitable environment. Many of us end up settling elsewhere or making a living on the go. That's where you get the popular image of the Amawa bodyguard or mercenary.
Warst du ein Söldner?
Don't sell me short. I've also been a drifter, a middling carpenter, and a terrible card player.
Don't fall for that. He'll hustle you out of your last coin.
Keep going, and I'll have to tell the story of the time you stumbled into a Zarup camp in rutting season.
Ich war schon mal ich erinnere mich vor allem an die keine Ahnung.
Then you
War
must
noch
have
nie.
come during our sunny season. Lashed by storms and battered by waves. We call it the rough country. And old trenchers say it's made us who we are.
Kartenzieher.
We do a lot of digging for irrigation, drainage, warfare, the occasional village tournament. Anyone from Rawatai has spent enough time in some kind of hole in the ground to be on a first-name basis with the worms. So, trenchers. Those of us who leave are scramble roots, hardy weeds that can survive just about anywhere.
Fähigkeiten stärken und formen den Charakter.
You'd fit right in with the Ranganui's inner circle. It's true that the same things that make Rawatai a difficult place to live have shaped our people and our kingdom. Our coral masons have built living harbors and fortifications along the coast to protect our ships and shelter our cities. For all our shortage of fertile soil, Rawatai's land is abundant in saltpeter, copper, iron, most of the other materials you need to outfit your military with weapons and cannons. We value struggling and striving together. It helped us survive and build one of the most powerful navies in Aora.
Und auch eines der kriegerischsten und expansionistischsten.
You're not wrong. Though, my countrymen would point out that we had to expand to find fertile land to feed our people. And the scattered kingdoms we've absorbed in the process have joined one of the most advanced nations in the world.
Es ist also kompliziert.
And that's what I like about the living lands, where most civic concerns are about as nuanced as a wall of sharpened stakes. Until recently, anyway.
Ich will aber gerne wissen, was du von unseren anderen Gefährten hältst.
You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about?
Wie lange kennst du schon Maurice?
Long enough that he's got a good roster of stories about my blunders in the wilds, which he'll remind us of constantly. He's got a soft heart under that gruff exterior. He feels things more deeply than he lets on. So, if he burns the stew one evening, maybe don't mention it.
Ihr beide seid also Freunde. Er macht dir sicher gern das Leben schwer, oder?
That's just how he shows affection. He's deeply loyal to people once he gets to know them, and he likes companionship more than he lets on. He just has a funny way of showing it. I think he left Galawain's tusks suddenly, and under unfortunate circumstances. He's never spoken directly about it, but that's what I put together, and it explains a lot. Losing home, losing the people who gave you a sense of yourself, it leaves a mark. But don't tell him I told you that. Seriously.
Ich will ihn richtig kennenlernen. Er öffnet sich ja nicht wirklich.
Give him time, and don't rush the process. Think of him like a skittish little cub. He just needs to get used to you, but he'll come around once he does. Definitely don't tell him I said that.
Sag mir, was du über Giada denkst.
She's got a lot of heart, and she's loyal to her people and their principles, even when it costs her. Giada's lost her home, but kept her resolve. It takes a special kind of person to weather what she has and emerge stronger for it. She'll have a lot to figure out after all this, but she's gonna be okay.
Ich dachte, du hättest nicht für Besinnung übrig, oder?
I don't. It's creepy, it's dangerous, and it's driven by more bad ideas than good ones. What's more, too many of the people behind it are more interested in seeing what they can do than wrestling with what they should do. But my reservations aren't going to put an end to it. And Giada, at least, is a voice of reason.
Sie wird von Erbe ihrer Eltern angetrieben, aber sie hatte ihre eigene Begründung, okay. Ja, die hat wegen ihrer Eltern macht das
She's
eigentlich.
young. She'll get there. Until then, there are certainly worse things to be driven by.
Ich würde gerne wissen, was du über mich denkst. Genau.
Okay. But only if you let me turn that question around once I've answered you.
Das ist unfair, ja.
I think you've been trusted with a nearly impossible task. When we first met, I thought that was because you made some powerful enemies back home. But as I've gotten to know you, I think that if anyone can stop the Dream Scourge, it's you. What's more, you've got your head and your heart in the right place. You haven't let your duties or loyalties get in the way of being decent and reasonable. At the end of the day, I'm proud to fight alongside you. And there you have it. Your turn now.
Okay. Das erste.
Oh, well, that's nice of you to say. I don't mean to be rude. That's just more praise than I've probably earned. Enough about me, right?
Reden wir über was anderes.
Sure,
Eine andere Folgen.
sure. What's on your mind?
Okay, war alles.
Nudge me if you hear anything in the woods.
Ja, ich mache erstmal noch Maurice erstmal einmal.
Envoy, it's clear that no matter what happened, these people couldn't stay in Fior. Just not sure you did the right thing. These people won't survive long in a place like Thirdborn.
Und wie kommst du darauf?
Thirdborn is a rough town. They literally do their business inside the skeleton of a Leviathan. If you thought Paradise's docks were rough, just wait. Plus, they have a nogfish curry that will peel your tongue. Right, changing the subject.
Okay.
Until next time.
Theater.
We should talk. What happened to Fior Messiverno could have been worse. A lot worse. But that doesn't mean the living land is safe. If anything, it's more dangerous by far.
Stimme zu. Gewalt erzeugt nur
And in
Gegengewalt.
my case, it's inevitable. No matter where Animancers go, someone is always trying to kill us. Nothing enrages the gods more than mortals in pursuit of knowledge.
Ja, und der Götter entschuldigen nicht die Dinge, die Sterbliche
Don't
einander antun.
worry.
Genau.
I plan to hold the mortals accountable. As many of them as it takes. Listen to me. A failed Animancer lashing out at everything in reach. Even with all the tools at my disposal. I couldn't stop the Dream Scourge. And I couldn't save my people. How do I live up to my family's example when I can't even help myself?
Dieses Beispiel ist dein Vermächtnis. Du kannst stolz darauf sein.
I wish I could. But that legacy is a debt I can never pay off. My parents died pursuing a better future for Animancers. I can't let their sacrifice be for nothing. And right now, that's all it is. I have some pondering to do. Let me know if there's anything else.
Glaubst du, dass das dein Menschen wohl ergehen wird, wenn du dich da
Sending my people to Thirdborn. It's a good arrangement. They get a roof over their heads. The city gets Animancers. And everyone gets along. For once.
Das ist aber ungewöhnlich, oder?
The free settlements have enough cultural and ideological differences that we don't always see eye to eye. But when it comes to survival, there is no disagreement. We're in this together. Look, I know you didn't come to this island to help us. And yet you were here when others would have looked away. Despite everything that happened, it means a lot.
Ja, Leute verdienen etwas Besseres. Ich hoffe, sie bekommen eine Pause.
We all deserve better. But fate decided otherwise. Well, onward to better things. If you need anything, you know where to find me.
Okay.
If I must.
Jetzt wieder Kai, hat jemand noch was?
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood.
What can I say? I do my best work under pressure.
Believe me, I meant that as a compliment.
Ja, dann musst du ihren Standpunkt klar machen. Wie Daro war unvernünftig.
Not to mention willfully obtuse.
Living landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth.
Das ist der Grund, warum ich die Wildnis dem Hof vorziehe. Weniger
Agreed.
Politik.
I'm with you both. And Giada. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Ich verstehe, es ist schwer, ein Zuhause zu verlieren. Genau.
Sometimes that just makes it easier.
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's
Be
situation.
happy.
Right. Wait, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this probably isn't how you wanted to start a new adventure, but we're glad to have you with us.
Thank you, Kai. The circumstances could be better, but it helps to be among friends.
Anytime.
Können wir kurz... okay, war schon bei ihm. Stimmt, holen wir uns jetzt was aus. Kai ist fertig, Maurice noch nicht.
Envoy? Gods, I can't believe what's happening around here. Fjord was attacked when we weren't looking. It's a miracle it's still there.
Das war kein Wunder, wir haben Fjord gerettet.
Right. I guess we did. Wish we could have done more. At least that's one more town the Steel Growth failed to burn to the ground. That's... something. Right. Changing the subject.
Okay. Dann war's das erstmal bei ihm wieder.
Pleasant dreams.
Dann wieder zu Giada oder Giada.
Thank you again for letting me join you. An animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an animancer feels different without Fior Messiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone.
Ich denke, dir wird es gefallen, für sich selbst zu arbeiten.
It'll take some getting used to, that's for sure. At least now I have a place I can call my own.
Ich habe nichts zu bieten, außer einen chaotischen Lager und ein altes Bett.
Believe me, that's plenty. It's a shame we had to meet under these circumstances. Plague, war, maybe the end of the living lands.
Wir werden diese Insel in Ordnung bringen.
I can't
Gemeinsam.
wait to find out how. I enjoy seeing the world through your eyes. Despite everything that's happened, you always know where to find hope. Keep it that way.
Ja, eventuell.
Thanks for talking.
Maurice, du bist immer noch nicht fertig?
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her.
Sie hat recht, sie versuchen eine offensichtliche Bedrohung zu ignorieren.
I don't know. In my experience, it's always the snake you don't see that bites you. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject?
Okay.
You too.
Maurice ist fertig, jetzt nur noch Giada da dran.
I can't believe it. Ranger Dorso, a traitor to Fior Messiverno. Shame we had to kill her. But at least now she can't hurt anyone else. The damage is contained. More or less.
Wir haben die Stadt gerettet, das ist doch alles, was zählt, oder?
Indeed. We live to fight another day. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Messiverno. Blamed animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else.
Okay, will gleich noch was haben?
Pleasant
Ja,
dreams.
klar. Nee, keine Gründe träume, ich verliebe
Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsli reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground.
Ich freue mich darauf, sie kennenzulernen.
As well you should. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsley stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again.
Na klar. Will ich gleich noch was reden?
You too. I hope Thirdborn is a good community for my people. We've been through a lot.
Werkbank, direkt aufwerten. Achso, das ist nur das, was ich aufwerten kann, was ich bei mir rumtrage. Na komm. Ich will ja die Waffe machen, eigentlich will ja. Nein, wieder. Achso. Okay, woher bekomme ich das Wirt? Ah. Also soll ich erstmal alles, was ich so habe, aufwerten. Hm. 4 und 6. Ja, mal alles. Okay. Ah.
Thirdborn's rough around the edges, but it's full of good people.
Geändert? Nein.
They'll have your back when you need it.
Standard, wie sieht die Überstand aus? Nee. Jeder bekommt den Obsidian.
Survivors, in other words.
Ich
In
hab grad
that
gedacht,
case,
dass es wieder Spielaufgang hat, aber
your
nein.
kin are a good match for mine.
Weg meine Ausrüstung. So, oh, Spieler kennt wieder meinen Controller nicht. Damit kann ich alles rumschleppen oder was? Oh. Jetzt so machen. Das kostet, wiegt ja alles nix. Das ist lustig, nichts ist lustig. Ah, hier gibt es was, okay. Ich weiß, ich trage so viel. War auch alles geplant. Nee, also geht es nicht. Und das nervt gerade wieder. Gut, ich wollte das Spiel gerade beenden. Aber nach einer gewissen Zeit ist irgendwie diese Meldung da. Immer. Dementsprechend werde ich jetzt auch die Aufnahme beenden, weil das nervt nach einer gewissen Spielzeit. Und dementsprechend danke fürs Zuschauen und bis zur nächsten Runde. Bis dahin, tschüss und auf Wiedersehen.